The Asia session is one of the best but misunderstood times to trade Forex. And in this video, I'm going to simplify it for you. I'm going to give you easy trading strategies that you can start using today. Okay, so the Asia session is 8 p.m. Eastern, New York time, till 12 a.m. Eastern, New York time, right? That's Asia session. So you've got 4 hours to trade, 4 hours to trade. And it is a good session for a few pairs. It's good for gold. There's good moves in gold. It's good for AUD pairs, and New Zealand dollar pairs, and all yen pairs. So those are the 4 pairs that I would stick to. I wouldn't do like GBP or Euro during this time because it's not that good. And there are big moves in Asia because I used to trade gold during London, and Asia would have some massive moves that you can capture. And as with all things, you want to know the bias. And with gold, we've been in a bull market, right? So it's pretty easy to determine the bias. And you want to look for is you want to look for a liquidity sweep. Now, what is a liquidity sweep? A liquidity sweep is when price takes out the opposite side of your bias. So we know we're bullish. A liquidity sweep would be any low that's taken and then price quickly shoots off. That's what a liquidity sweep is. And if we look, right, we have this low here. So lots of people obviously have been buying gold, and some people would have had their stop loss here. This price action right here, we take out this low, and then we quickly shoot off. We quickly shoot off. And when I say quickly shoot off, what does that actually mean in terms of trading? It means we leave a fair value gap, right? That's how you can quantify a quick displacement, a strong move up by leaving a fair value gap. So what you first want to see with Asia is you want to see a liquidity sweep, right? And make sure you write this down because the highest probability trading will always have a liquidity sweep. Will always be a liquidity sweep. That's the highest probability. You want a liquidity sweep, and then you want displacement, which means a big move in your direction, and then you want to enter on any sort of retracement. So the first thing we look for is a liquidity sweep, right? Let me just write this down. Liquidity sweep, right? And this is a liquidity sweep because it's opposite our bias, and we've quickly shot off. And now that we've had our liquidity sweep, we're looking for any sort of fair value gap to form, and clearly we've got one here. So I'm just going to make this chart a bit bigger. What you're going to do now is you're going to mark this fair value gap. Now this fair value gap should ideally form in Asia, right? So you've got 8 till 12 a.m. Eastern, you've got 4 hours. Surely there can be a fair value gap that can form in that 4 hours. And the reason why you want it to form during that Asia session is because the fair value gap kind of tells you the bias for the session. It kind of tells you what Asia actually wants to do. So fair value gaps are very important, whereas you don't really want to look at this because this was formed before 8 p.m. Right? This is the real move during Asia because Asia starts at 8 p.m. all the way up till midnight, right? So the real move's a bullish move. And yeah, you want to enter on this fair value gap here. So once you've got your liquidity sweep and you've got your fair value gap that forms during Asia, all you want to do is just simply enter at the fair value gap, right? Enter at the fair value gap, put your stop ideally at the swing low here, right? At this low here. You could, if you want to be really aggressive, have your stop at this candle here because this candle forms the fair value gap. But I would always say just have it at the low here. And then what you're going to do, you're going to aim, ideally you should just aim for a 2-to-1. If you want to just trade Asia session, right, so you don't want to hold for London, aim for a 2-to-1. Aim for a 2-to-1. Do not aim for a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 because Asia, even though it's volatile, it's not as volatile as London and New York, but there is good movement there. You could, if you really wanted to, aim for this high here, right? I mean, you just miss out with spread, but if you hold on into early London, you do get it. But I would always say just aim for an easy 2-to-1 for Asia. And, if you want to be a bit more of a day trader, let's say you were bullish gold, and you were willing to hold on into London, this would be a trade like this, right? Nice high probability trade. You'd be holding on, I don't know, for a few hours here. Yeah, until probably the end of London. But yeah, you'd always have your stop at this swing low here. Now, why would you have your stop at this swing low? Because this swing low was a liquidity sweep, right? The only reason price went down here was to take out this liquidity. It's the only reason it did that. It went down to take out this liquidity and then shot right off. That's the only reason it did that. So if price did something like this, if price came all the way down here, took out your stop loss and went up, it's very unlikely that that would happen because we've already taken out liquidity. So why would we take it out again? What is likely to happen is that if this low is taken out, that we're likely to have a bearish move down, and then you're wrong, right? You're just wrong in trading, and that's going to happen, right? No one has a 100% win rate, so the high probability or the best place to put your stop loss would always be at the liquidity sweep. That's the highest probability. If you wanted to be really aggressive, you could put your stop at the low of this candle that forms the fair value gap and get a ridiculous risk to reward. But I would always say just aim for an easy 2-to-1, right? 2-to-1. If you're day trading and scalping, aim for a 2-to-1. If if you're a swing trader or you're trading an hourly chart, then you can have, a 3-to-1 and stuff because you'll get less setups, but you can hold them on for, a lot longer. But yeah, that's an easy Asia session trading strategy for gold, and I'll give you one on another Forex pair. Okay, I'm on dollar yen now, and Asia session is literally right here, 8 p.m. all the way down to around midnight. And we're bearish on the yen, so we're looking for any sort of liquidity sweep, And if you look at this wick here, you look at these highs here, here's our liquidity sweep, right here. These highs here. So we've had our liquidity sweep, and the reason you can tell it's a liquidity sweep is because we had these wicks. See these wicks here? We've wicked in, taken out liquidity, and we've quickly moved. We've instantly moved down. Those wicks tell you that smart money wants to move price down quickly. It quickly wants to move. And then at this point, right, we can see this huge bearish candle down here, again showing us that price wants to go down. There is liquidity here because some people are buying the yen. So here's our not long term, but here's our session target, right? Like obviously on the higher time frame, you're going to have a key target that might take a few days to get to. But for a session, for Asia session, here's your key low that you want to be targeting. And now we're looking for a fair value gap. Is there a fair value gap that forms? Yes. You see it right here at 8:05 p.m. And remember, we want it to form between 8 till 12 a.m. Eastern, because this fair value gap here tells us what Asia actually wants to do. So here we go. We mark out the fair value gap. You're going to enter at the fair value gap low, stop at the swing high here. Why? Because it's a liquidity sweep, which means it's very unlikely that price will go straight through it. And if it does, if price does take out this high, it's probably because you're on the wrong side of the market, and that's fine. So what are we going to do? We're going to aim for a 2-to-1 at least, or you can just aim for this low here, 2.7 risk to reward ratio. And you know what, guys? That's as simple and as easy as trading gets. That's as simple and easy as it gets. Wait for a liquidity sweep before Asia, or even during Asia. Wait for a fair value gap to form between 8 till 12 a.m. Eastern. Take that fair value gap as your entry. Aim for a 2-to-1, or if you really want to, you can aim for like the key high or low. Always put your stop at the liquidity sweep, and yeah, happy trading, guys. That's as simple as I can make it. This is good for gold, it's good for yen, it's good for Aussie dollar, it's good for New Zealand dollar, and the crosses between them. Even GBP, JPY is good for all those pairs. Obviously, stick away from, don't just trade like GBP USD and Euro USD. They're London session pairs. But yeah, for all Asian currencies and for gold, this is a great strategy. And if this video helped you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment. I upload every day. And yeah, have fun with this model, boys, and I'll see you later. Peace.